Get out. Lay down on the ground. Hey, get up my here. Lay down on the ground.
He immediately goes and he draws his weapon out, points it at me. I said, what is wrong with you?
Poor decisions can have immediate consequences. For these officers, those consequences cost them their jobs. On September 4, 2018, Cleveland police officer John Petcack arrived at a neighborhood to arrest a man. This incident would mark the beginning of the end of his career.
Place he popped out. What?
Where's this guy last year? Last hopped out at 69 from me by you.
I need cars at 69 and a half. This mail's supposed to be in the garbage can here. Yellow house. I'm in the back. Don't you fucking move. Get out. Lay down on the ground. Hey, get off my hair. Lay down on the ground. You get shot on my hair. Lay down on the ground.
No blowing threads, no shirt.
Lay down. Flip over.
Why are you looking for me?
Flip over.
Why are you looking for me?
I got this mail at gunpoint.
Why are you looking for me?
69 and a half. Shut up. Don't you move.
Get your feet off me.
Don't you move. Don't you move. Turn around.
Bro. Why are you looking for me?
Roll over.
Why are you looking for
Roll
me?
over.
Why are you looking for me?
Roll over. Roll over.
Why are you looking for me?
Roll over. Roll
Why
over.
are you looking for me?
Down the ground, bro.
Take me
Down
to
the ground,
bro.
Let's go. Hey. Help, yellow house! Lay down! Hey, get the fuck off me! Lay down!
The struggle continues, and after a brief moment, dozens of officers arrive.
Alright, y'all can let me up now, man.
Okay, 6
No, got no damn gun.
I had him at gunpoint in the garbage can.
Why are you punching me though, man?
Because you're resisting arrest.
I didn't
Grab him from my gun.
Huh?
Grab him from my gun.
I never grab for your gun, bro.
Yeah, right.
Hey, roll him over. He's stumping my head, sir. Huh? Why y'all chasing me though, man? Huh?
Sounds like direct up.
Cut through.
62, same traffic. Yep.
They had no reason for punching me, bro.
You have no reason to grab from my gun.
Man, on my kids, I never grab your gun.
Yeah, right.
What did you talk about the bacon? Then you pull my hair off.
You're resisting.
You nigga?
Cut through back here.
From Philly? Yeah.
Don't put me.
But he punched me. Why he punched me?
Because you grabbed from my gun.
On my kid's soul, I never. Huh? Why you running? Why you chasing me?
What's your first name?
Antoine.
Okay.
Ain't nothing in my pie. Never had nothing. I had on no shirt or nothing. I never had nothing.
You gotta warn people around for fun, man. We just out for a jog. I don't understand.
No, because he jumped out on me. Walk across the street with no shirt on. What?
Let's get him into a car. Stand up.
Why you punching? Why you punching off?
Because you're grabbing from my gun.
My kids, I ain't grabbing your gun. Stop touching me.
Get up. Get up. You do nothing, right? Get out of the car. This motherfucker up.
Following this incident, Officer Petcack was involved with two more similar incidents. He was fired for his repeated breach of policy and needless use of excessive force. This next security guard showed us how easy it is to lose your job. On May 31st, Lucas County Sheriff's Deputy Alan Gaston went to the local IRS office on personal business while on duty and in uniform. That's when he was confronted by a jumpy security guard.
They should be like right here.
I thought it was, I think it's this. I think it's in the fifth third. Doesn't say
No,
it,
but it's on that side.
Sure.
Yeah, because 425, 433.
It's on Summit, Internal Revenue Service. Good right.
second floor. Got it.
How you doing? So I stopped up here to ask a question about.
Gentlemen, I need to talk to you before he talks to you.
We're
He's the one
right
that's at
here.
fault here.
Okay, again, I stopped up to ask a question. If you want to pull aside, that's fine. I stopped up to ask a question about some tax situation. When I walked in, he said, "If you're up here on official business," I said, "No."
Well, that gentleman out there, he's not here on official business. He came in here with his weapons. I told him he couldn't have them. He had his hands on his weapons. I told him to remove his hands from his weapons. He didn't listen. I drew
Seth, the security guard, drew his weapon on Officer Allen when he told him that no firearms were allowed in the building, ignoring common sense. Allen's supervisor and other officers arrived on scene to figure things out.
Even if he's an officer?
You're not allowed to have your weapons on federal property. Even us, even you, unless you're here on official business. Which right now you're responding to a call. If you're on official business, you're good to go.
He said, "Well, you can't leave your weapon up here. You're going to have to take everything off." I said, "Well, do you have a locker?" He said, "No, we don't. You're going to have to take it to the car." And I said, "Well, I have been up here once before."
310, you can have it here.
And they never said, nah. So another gentleman stood up and said, "Hey, you got to do what he says or you're being disruptive," I believe he said.
I wasn't here.
No, I'm just saying. I said, "Okay." And I said, "That's fine." I just said, "But there's no locker." And this is what I'm doing. I said, "So there's no locker?"
You still got it on the right. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, I still got mine. He still got his gun.
And there's film to see, and he goes, "Get your hands off your gun." I said, "Get your hands off your weapon." I said, "I don't have my hands on my weapon." He immediately goes and he draws his weapon out, points it at me. I said, "What is wrong with you?" And I said, "I'm leaving."
Yeah.
He follows me out. He said, "It's too late now. You're going in cuffs." So he follows me around the corner here. And I said, "You need to go back inside." I hit the elevator to get off. He said, "No." He said, "No, you're not getting off."
Did you even, like, say anything to him that he
I
should?
told him, I asked him, "Are you here on official business?" He said, "No." Okay, you have to take your weapons off the property. You cannot have them here. He asked me if there was someplace where he could store them. I said, "No, there's no place here on the property that you can store them. You're gonna have to take them off the property."
The security manager tries to defend Seth. Who did he think he was? Dwight Schrute protecting the tax forms?
What's the law? What's the law as far as somebody bringing? I understand you're.
And this is just how I'm saying it.
What's the law of bringing in firearms in the government and like when you're?
Well,
and he's not on official, even though he's on county. He's supposed to. He's on county time. This we'll check all the records. You have to do. But he's coming here on personal business, and he's not an official business. He can't bring his firearm.
As long as he's in uniform,
Unless you
But
can
he's
get
on
the uniform.
But he's not on official business.
doesn't matter. As long as he's in uniform, because, I mean, what if he, and here's my what if. What if he just got off shift or was going to take care of this because he doesn't live in the city or close to here before he goes home? Okay, and then it just, and I'm just playing devil's advocate for you so you can understand. Say he does put all of his stuff in his car and locks his car up, somebody breaks in and steals all of his stuff. Now we got some criminal running
Well, he probably
around.
shouldn't be here on
You know what I'm
court time
saying?
either, you know.
Well,
Okay, again, I just came to ask a simple question.
That's up to him.
Again,
And I got
I'm just
that.
trying to get all the facts straight.
Because this,
Yes, he pointed his gun at me.
arrest that son of a bitch.
You can't point your gun at someone.
Yeah,
And this isn't even a life-threatening situation. And I turned around and walked away, and he's still pointing at me straight. And from other civilians.
He can walk over to the government building and walk anywhere in government center he wants dressed like that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I mean, now if I go over there and I'm in civilian clothes, I have to secure my weapon.
This is what happened.
So-
This is what happened to me. Okay, I was told that there was a security incident, and I didn't know. I didn't know.
He's a hothead, and he's a wannabe, and he's going to cause some issues.
I didn't
He
know
put
it
it
was.
and pointed right at me.
I didn't know it was a law enforcement official.
Yeah.
So
Neither did we
heard-
when we came up
So I came in, and I thought you were here to here to help, and I didn't know it was.
No, it wasn't me. And you
Yeah,
know what?
I
I figured this guy's got some issues, so I'm gonna just leave anyway. No, it's too late. I'm putting cuffs on you. Stop. And he comes out and he's screaming while pointing his gun at me. So when I pull my phone out to take a picture of it, he puts it away. I said, well, there's cameras in there anyway.
Yeah. Personally, I'd haul his ass in.
I don't care if he's a FPS employee or not.
Yeah.
There's no fucking reason.
not.
I quit carrying my gun up here when I was sworn because they said, well, you can't have it in here. I could go to the 7th floor.
Yes, I can go
walk around
to,
the 7th
and that's
floor.
where I go. I'm in the building all the time. I serve subpoenas over here. So they have no problem with it.
Right.
And I only had one question. Once they said that, okay, I'll leave. He had a hard-on for me from the minute I walked in.
And then you drew on him?
He had his hands on his weapon. I gave him ample time. I told him no fewer than 3 times to get his hands off his weapons. He would alternate from having his hand on his pistol, to having his hand on his teeth, to having his hand on his baton. So I told him to turn around, put his hands up, and get his hands on his weapon. And he didn't listen. Then he turned around and drew my gun on him.
And once he walked away?
I mean, he was facing me at first. I drew my weapon, told him to turn around, and then he kept on walking. I still had my weapon out, but I wasn't pointing at his back. And I'm here, and I've cut him here because he was violating my directives, and he just can't be here with weapons. He wasn't listening.
Well,
Where does it happen? At right here or in the
Inside is the federal property.
I guess the security guard was just excited to draw his weapon for the first time ever. When Alan's supervisor is told about Seth's reasoning, he points to the obvious.
What's his reason?
He's saying that since it's a federal building and the offices up here, that no one's allowed, regardless of status, to have a firearm in the building.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he got on him?
This is not a federal building.
No, it's not.
This is a federal office
Right.
there, but from there down, it's public.
Right. This is our suspect with the gun.
His crown put his gun on.
I'm gonna leave it. It was gone. Then wouldn't let him leave.
Who did this?
He doesn't need to be here. I'm telling you right now.
So what's the legal ramifications of that?
I mean,
I'm not a lawyer.
No, well, neither are we.
This does not make sense.
You know, I mean, the sad part is they're both. It's not that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad he didn't pull a gun on me because I would have probably pulled mine on him. But
I started to disarm him.
Yeah,
But I didn't. I just.
the only thing is he feels that he was in the right. Now I don't know what your guys' rules are, and I know it says no firearms. The only problem is.
But common sense.
Yeah,
He has no common sense.
I know.
Okay.
He shouldn't be
I mean,
here.
it would be different if he walked up here and was in city clothes and had a shirt on, and then he seen his shirt move and he had a gun
Exactly,
on.
that's what I
That
thought
makes
it
a
was.
huge difference.
That's what I thought it
Or
was.
Joe Schmuck off the streets walks up here and it's
That's
open
what
carry
I-
and he's got his gun
exactly.
hanging
You
out.
know what he
It
did?
says downstairs no weapons.
When I got on the elevator to leave, he kept his gun out and kept his foot on the elevator. You're not going anywhere. Are you kidding me?
Copy that. Yes, ma'am. Bye. Well, I got my directions from here.
Who's that?
Well, I gotta go back in there, but
Well, you gotta wait out here, because you were the one that called and we gotta get this cleared up.
yeah, and you were responding on official business, you can come in there.
No, you gotta wait out here, sir.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I've got my directions from the Federal Protective Service, I have to listen to them.
Where is your office? It's right here, right?
Yes, sir. I have my duties to perform, I have to get back to them.
All right, well, hold on 1 second, okay, man? I don't want it to escalate any further, okay?
You know,
Let me
yeah.
run it with my sergeant real quick. Because it's right here, right?
Oh, how the tables have turned. First, Seth wasn't allowing Alan to leave. Now that he made a scene, the cops have to investigate, so now Seth's not allowed to leave.
What's his reason?
He's saying that since it's a federal building and the offices up here, that no one's allowed, regardless of status, to have a firearm in the building.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he got on him?
This is not a federal building.
No, it's not.
This is a federal office
Right.
there, but from there down, it's public.
Right.
This is our suspect with the gun.
His crown put his gun on.
I'm gonna leave it. It was gone. Then wouldn't let him leave.
Who did this?
He doesn't need to be here. I'm telling you right now.
So what's the legal ramifications of that?
I mean,
I'm not a lawyer.
No, well, neither are we.
This does not make sense.
You know, I mean, the sad part is they're both. It's not that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad he didn't pull a gun on me because I would have probably pulled mine on him. But
I started to disarm him.
Yeah, and
But I didn't. I just.
the only thing
ran out
is he feels that he was in the right. Now I don't know what your guys' rules are, and I know it says no firearms. The only problem is
But common sense.
Yeah,
He has no common sense.
I know.
Okay?
He shouldn't be
I mean, it would be different if he walked up here and was in city clothes and had a shirt on, and then he seen his shirt
See,
move and he had a gun
exactly,
on.
that's what I
That
thought
makes
it
a
was.
huge difference.
That's what I thought it
Or
was.
Joe Schmuck off the streets walks up here and it's
That's
open
what
carry
I-
and he's got his gun
exactly.
hanging
You
out.
know what he
It says
did?
downstairs, no weapons.
When I got on the elevator to leave, he kept his gun out and kept his foot on the elevator. You're not going anywhere. Are you kidding me?
Copy that. Yes, ma'am. Bye. Well, I got my directions from here.
Who's that?
Well, I gotta go back in there, but,
Well, you gotta wait out here, because you were the one that called and we gotta get this cleared up.
yeah, and you were responding on official business, you can come in there.
No, you gotta wait out here, sir.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I've got my directions from the Federal Protective Service, I have to listen to them.
Where is your office? It's right here, right?
Yes, sir. I have my duties to perform, I have to get back to them.
All right, well, hold on 1 second, okay, man? I don't want it to escalate any further, okay?
You know,
Let me
yeah.
run it with my sergeant real quick. Because it's right here, right?
The manager then questioned Seth about why he did something so dumb.
They might not have.
Okay. Did you feel threatened in any way?
Yes,
How so?
he had his hand on his weapon, he wasn't listening to my
Well,
directions.
did he draw? Did he act like he was going to draw?
He had his hands on his weapons, he was not listening to my directions, and he had weapons here, but he wasn't supposed to.
But common sense says he's law enforcement. Yeah, he's here on government time, and his government time. He shouldn't be here. But did he draw his weapon? Does he have a holster?
A lot of times we go like this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but.
You know. No, well, was he like this, or was his hand?
He had his hand, he had his hand on the handle. That, to me, tells me you're about ready in trouble.
So we need to determine if there's going to be any legal ramifications on this either way.
We're gonna have to work that out. We're gonna call our detective bureau right now and talk to them real quick, so.
Did you tell him that he doesn't want to listen to our directives and wants to go back?
I didn't really tell him that as much, but.
As far as I'm concerned, I have to get back to my duties.
No. We got to call your boss.
Listen, do not make this worse, man, okay, please.
I'm directed by the Federal Protective Service. I have to get back to my job.
I'm going to call
You called 911 and now you want to
I did
go
not
in.
call 911.
Who did?
That gentleman.
I'm going to call the boss right now, and then we're going to call Brandon.
How far is that room away? It's right there, right?
Yes, sir.
Nobody's gonna go in there with all of us here. That's what I'm saying, that's
Yeah.
why.
Is that what you're, is that?
I'm gonna call Toledo Police.
No, but is
Okay.
that your concern?
What's the concern?
That somebody's going to go in there?
No, there are two taxpayers in there right
They
now.
went, I told them to go sit in their car and fill this out.
Oh, okay,
Right
so,
there.
I think only criminal investigation is allowed to look at them.
Sir, stay
Sir?
here for us, please, unless you're staying right there.
I'm staying right
But
over
yeah,
there.
Okay.
it's real
That's-
confusing as
what's
far
wrong
as.
with him?
Okay.
Yeah, this guy's a boob. At what point do you think it's good to pull a gun out and point it at
I mean, yeah, that's
law
what,
enforcement officer?
He's in full uniform, got his dues on and everything.
I mean, he's screaming. I'm like, okay,
Badge on,
this guy's
radio.
dumb. So I'm gonna just leave.
Yeah.
I'll come back later. He followed. He said, I said, what are you doing?
Yeah, just.
You need to stop.
Yeah,
I'm
just
putting you in
personal
cuffs. I said,
business. He said,
and go
"You're
back
not
inside.
okay."
He said, it's too late.
And he said,
I hit the thing.
Basically,
He
just
puts his
like
foot, now he's got his gun out,
And,
and he's
you know, just-
still with the gun out, and he's got his
that-
foot
What,
on
holding the door
I said,
open?
man, move your foot so I can go.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
And I
think he
realized
broke
this
down
guy
the
is
floor.
goofy as hell. He's got a gun.
Yeah, that's, yeah, no.
Yeah.
As I said, he may be going to jail.
I guess there is no supervisor on.
Does Seth know that there's a world that exists outside this building? Because it looks like he was too dumb to differentiate between an officer and an assailant.
He kept telling him, take your hand off the weapon. I heard that 4 or 5 times.
Well, considering the fact he has a weapon too, I wouldn't take man off either.
Well, he ain't supposed to be in the building with the gun, period. Like, for somebody to walk in here with a gun, honestly, I mean, I respect y'all's position, but you don't come in a government office wearing, is he wearing a sidearm? Because I didn't see, all I saw was a neck guard. He allowed in this building, period. He allowed him in the gun in the building, period.
That's an officer.
That guy was an officer?
The guy that you.
The guy we called police on was a police officer?
Yeah, he's a deputy sheriff.
Either way, he ain't allowed to have
Yes, he
it in
is.
here.
No,
Well,
Maybe not
Unless
there's
he's on-
there's discrepancy.
Unless he's on official business responding, he cannot be in here.
I did not know he,
So, okay, we've separated that. He can't be in that office.
I didn't know he was an officer.
He's in
All I
full
saw was
uniform.
his laptop. But it wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
It wouldn't have mattered to me anyway. But, you know, I probably would have been a little slower calling the police. I just went out and said, look, you gotta follow the instructions of the guard. I don't care if you're the mayor or the congressman or whoever, if he tells you leave this office or one of us tells you to leave, you gotta leave. Okay.
Lucky you got a little bit of experience in time, right? You ain't freaking waffle his ass.
Oh, I know. Now, and he's going, I'm doing like this.
Yeah.
Get your hand off your weapon. And I said, my hand's not on my weapon.
I mean, honestly, this might, this or this.
Exactly. And I said, my hand's not on my weapon. Then he pulls it. I'm like, oh, put that gun. This dude is, yeah, but you're like, I mean.
There might not be a charge you can put on him.
Yeah, I know. That's why.
Get a statement from both sides.
End up with a report. I don't know. Well, now their IA may do something. That's.
It's just,
I'll be honest with you. This is the first time I've ever dealt with this. I've been on for 13 years. I've never had a security guard pull a gun on another officer.
dude, I'm telling you, and I'll be honest, when I turn around to walk away, I said, this is dumb. Calculation. You know, because I just figured I'd diffuse it by
Just
you know,
leaving.
leaving.
Yeah.
And that's when it follows me out over here.
I just wanted to sound good.
I'm not here to lie to anybody.
No, that's what I said. You
Your
got
side,
cameras.
his side, I
Right,
really don't
exactly.
care. But
No.
personally, he's in the wrong. I mean, I was waiting to, I'm like, suspect. But it never said anything. We got security guard, and then the way they made it sound is there was like an ODO here.
Yeah.
Is
That's
what
why
it
I knew he
sounded
was
like,
goofy.
that was walking him out the door, and we're like, well,
He
what the fuck
he
are they
followed
calling
me.
us?
And he kept his gun out the whole time.
This incident will probably be laughed about in the Lucas County Sheriff's Office for years to come. While Seth's higher-ups were investigating the CCTV footage, he was getting agitated.
No, you can't go back. He
Well,
just
your
told
job's
you
right
to
there.
wait a
Nobody's
minute.
even in there, buddy.
Okay, so you were
That's all.
telling me that I'm not allowed to go back to, correct?
Sir,
We
you
are.
have
Okay. All right.
you have to
Yeah,
wait
tell
until
me
we're
I gotta
done.
Take care of this before I can go back to doing my duties, sir.
So you can't take your people now?
Hey, man.
Hey,
What's up, guys?
He's got to point a gun at you.
He pulled a gun out on me.
Are we gonna arrest him?
I was, I mean, I came up to ask.
We're arresting him?
What we're gonna do yet,
And,
we wait for our investigative services to get here and go from there with it.
Oh, he talked to Dan.
You guys-
He talked to Gurk.
What'd you
Go ahead
say?
and fill him in.
stand by on a report, get their information, and if IA with you guys needs to call him, I'll give you guys his number, and then we gotta go talk to him after we're done.
Okay.
Basically, Dan even said it. He goes, I don't even know what kind of report to make,
I don't
Right,
know if he-
right.
let alone
There is
a
no
crime.
Right.
You know, I mean, this,
crime did he commit?
other than the fact that this boob should never have a gun. I mean, my personal opinion, when you walk up here in a full uniform,
Right, that's what he said.
I mean, I was expecting to show up because all he said was, yeah, it's just a black male, and they give no description of no clothing, never said he was a deputy, nothing. So I'm waiting to show up and just have some black guy walking around in cities. I get off the elevator, he's standing here, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I come here in plain clothes all the time with my badge and gun on. And I go to any floor I want to go to.
Well, he's trying to say this is a federal building. I'm like, no, that may be a federal office. This is not a federal building. As a matter of fact, it's for Seagate. The city owns the damn thing, as far as I know.
So,
Is this security guard a new guy?
I don't know how long he's been on it.
you ever seen him before? No. I never even, he says that he doesn't have a boss either.
Well, somebody got to be in charge of him. He's getting a gun.
You guys want to talk to him?
Yeah, I'd like to talk to him.
Please.
Watching, you got a gun on you. Be careful.
Yeah. Well, he said he didn't follow you out.
After the incident was over, internal investigations found out that Allen was not violating any laws. Seth was reportedly fired from his job and pleaded not guilty to the charge of aggravated menacing. Some cops think they're privileged, so much so that they flex their badge to get out of sticky situations. In July 2024, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation officers noticed an individual speeding his boat in an idle zone. He immediately pulled him over and realized that it was an off-duty police officer.
Once you get yourself alongside, I'll give you this to hold on to, okay? You got it? There you go. Okay, so I'm Officer McCormack with Fish and Wildlife. Do you know why I'm stopping you?
Maybe because I was above the closest speed, just above that sign?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that sign back there, you were on plane. You passed it, and you finally came down after I came around and called you over.
Okay, my bad.
It's idle all the way in once you hit that sign. See the speed of that boat right there? That's the speed you need to be going to.
The boat's driver was a Polk County Sheriff's deputy, and he quickly revealed his identity.
Where you guys coming from?
Like Polk County Sheriff's?
No, I'm saying where are you coming from today?
Oh, we were at the sandbar all day.
Okay, gotcha.
We didn't do any fishing.
Okay.
And what else is it?
The registration, sir.
I want to say the registration I have in my truck.
You have it in your truck?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you guys with anybody else, or was just just you guys?
Just
okay,
us, sir.
gotcha.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been out for?
Since about 8:30.
8:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's that? Do you have numbers displayed on your vessel, sir?
Yes, sir, I do.
How far up are they?
Right about around the speaker.
Right about the speakers.
After talking to the deputy, the officer realized something was wrong with him, as he could notice signs of impairment. That's when he started to conduct some field sobriety tests.
So what I'd like for you to do is sit straight at the front edge of the seat. Put your arms about.
Can I give this to my girl?
You sure can, yeah. Go ahead. You can, and I'm going to be looking in your eyes too, so if you want to take your glasses off, you can do that too. You can set them down to the side, whatever was comfortable for you. All right, you're going to sit on the front edge of the cooler right there. I need you to hold your head still and just follow the stimulus. The stimulus is going to be right here with your eyes and your eyes only, okay? All right, right here, only with your eyes. Is that sun in your eyes?
A little bit, but...
Let's get you moved. All right, slide over to the right there, sir. And then you're going to sit right here.
This right or your right?
I say left, you must touch your left index finger to your nose.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Begin.
You didn't say which finger.
Okay. So you got to listen to the task, okay?
Yes,
okay, so what position did I have you in when I told you to begin? Okay, so you're going to need to have your head tilted back to a 45, eyes closed, and then I'll give you the directions, okay?
Okay.
Left.
The eye test was simple, but the next palm tests would reveal just how intoxicated the deputy was, and the results were shocking.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Repeat this, speed up as you go, and do not stop until told. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Begin. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Speed up.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1,
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. And you said count backwards.
Just do your best. Do the best so you can remember.
7, 6, 5. And then you said, I think you said like this.
Okay.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Seeing the tests, the officers made their decision, and they had the courtesy to arrest him away from his family.
He's his service pistol LT is on the boat. Is it your service one or just off-duty one? Off-duty, I'm sorry. What we're gonna do is we're gonna carefully walk over here. Just watch your step as you go across, right? We'll go up onto the dock right there. Okay, so listen. Whoa, you okay?
Yeah,
Lost your balance there.
I was walking over there with
Okay.
the other deputy over there.
So do me a favor, turn around for me.
Okay.
You are being placed under arrest for boating under the influence, okay? I just didn't want to do it in front of your family. I'll explain your options here in a second.
What did I do wrong?
So I see signs of impairment, odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from your breath.
Okay.
All right, so I saw signs of that would indicate impairment, right? So slurred speech, odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from your breath. Obviously there was beer cans or alcoholic beverage, empty beverages on the inside of the boat, but on your standard field sobriety test, there were some indicators in there as well that showed.
The deputy was taken to the police station, and a breath test recorded his BAC to be 0.165, which is twice the legal limit. He was charged with boating under the influence, and the Polk County Sheriff's Office placed him on administrative leave. Moving on, here's another instance where a drunk cop was caught and arrested.
So right now, you will be placed under arrest for OVI. It's going to read your rights real quick.
On January 3, 2023, an Ohio State trooper pulled over a vehicle for speeding at 100 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. As he approached, another car stopped behind it, revealing that the two drivers had been drag racing.
You need your license, registration, proof of insurance. Is that your friend back there? Okay. So how long ago did you drink? When? Tuesday? Okay. All right. I'll be right back. You got your license, registration, proof of insurance? How much have you had to drink?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'm just following her home.
Okay.
The second vehicle's driver was later identified as off-duty Columbus police officer Trier Kniper. She had stopped for her friend, but soon she would also find herself in trouble.
Any reason why you guys are racing? Okay. Because you're not the only people on the road. You do understand that. Okay. You stand right here. Have you had any recent head injuries, or do you have any inner ear problems? No. Are you wearing contacts?
I'm sorry?
Are you wearing contacts?
No.
No. Go ahead and spit your gum out for me. Interlace your fingers like this. Place them up under your chin. That'll help keep your head still, okay?
Officer Kniper was the subject of an eye test, but before conducting the rest of the field sobriety tests, the trooper went over to talk to her friend, who was clearly more impaired than the officer.
Thought I gave it back to you already. Maybe step out for me, okay? You got your car in park? You got your car in park? Okay. Roll your other window up. Roll your other window up so your dog doesn't jump out. Do you have any gum in your mouth? Have you had any recent head injuries, or do you have any inner ear problems?
Sorry.
Have you had any recent head injuries, or do you have any inner ear problems?
I've had about 11 concussions.
Okay. All right. Are you wearing contacts?
The trooper proceeded to conduct the field sobriety tests on her friend, who was identified as Paige Slyman, and her abysmal performance only meant one thing.
Put your right foot in front of your left. Heel of your right foot touching the toe of your left. Arms down to your sides. Maintain that position till I complete the instructions. Once you start walking, don't stop till you complete the test. You understand the instructions, ma'am?
Yes.
Go ahead and begin. Count your first step as 1. Impact the turn. Now left the turn. Okay. We'll come up here a little closer. All right. Go ahead and turn around for me. Hands behind your back. Palms together. I'm going to raise your sleeves up. Palms together for me. Palms. Yep. Don't interlace them. Yep, just like that. Right now, you're being placed under arrest for driving under the influence, okay?
After arresting Miss Slyman, the trooper returned to Officer Kniper and conducted the walk and turn test, a key indicator of intoxication.
I didn't get her to get her car, and she was going to her boyfriend's house, and I was going to my friend's house. And when I saw she was getting pulled over, I just pulled over with her.
I detect the odor of alcohol. So make sure you can run some tests, all right? I'm gonna step over this way a little bit more, right there. Cool. have you put your right foot in front of you, directly in front of you, left foot in front of it, heel to toe like this. I'm gonna put your arms down at your side. Don't move from this position until instructed to do so, okay? So for this test, you're gonna take a series of small steps and you're gonna turn yourself around. You're gonna take 9 heel to toe steps down, 9 heel to toe steps back. It's gonna look something like this. 1, 2, 3. Actually, let me go on this side, actually. Sorry about that. So,
It's shocking how, despite being an officer, Kniper was drag racing with her friend, and both of them were intoxicated beyond the limit. The trooper also slapped the cuffs on her wrist, and both were taken to the police station.
1,035, 1,027, 1,028, 1,029, 1,030.
you can stop. All right. So I'm just gonna look at your eyes one more time. We're gonna do another test and do circle. Well, I'm gonna have you back up for me, okay? You see that? You see that red light right there? I'm just gonna, this red light, my patrol car right here on my camera. Yeah. I'm just gonna have you face that, okay? Cool. I'm gonna have you step forward for me, okay? All right. I'm gonna have you place your hands behind your back like you're clapping. I'm gonna explain some things to you, okay? So right now, here, I'll have you put like you're clapping. Cool. So right now, you will be placed under arrest for OVI. It's going to read your rights real quick. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to your attorney prior to any questionings. You have the right to stop answering questions at any time. Do you understand your rights as I read them to you? All right, cool. This red light, my patrol car right here on my camera. Yeah. I'm just going to have you face that, okay? Cool. I'm going to have you step forward for me, okay? All right. I'm gonna have you place your hands behind your back like you're clapping. I'm gonna explain some things to you, okay? So right now, here, I'll have you put like you're clapping. Cool. So right now, you will be placed under arrest for OVI. It's gonna read your rights real quick. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to your attorney prior to any questionings. You have the right to stop answering questions at any time. Do you understand your rights as I read them to you? All right, cool.
Both Officer Kniper and her friend were charged with drag racing and OVI. The officer refused to provide a breath or blood sample at the station, resulting in a 1-year license suspension. Despite this, she remains a Columbus police officer to this day. While this officer faced consequences, these federal security agents needed a reminder of the law, thanks to a brave auditor.
I'm not in the courthouse. Is the courthouse over there, through those doors? But there's no court here, right, where I'm standing?
What's your goal?
No, my goal is to just take some pictures and video in public spaces. That's it. I didn't come up to you. I didn't call you here. I didn't do any of that. So, do you mind if I get your name, sir? Yeah, no? Okay.
I don't know what your goal is.
That's very professional, sir.
In August 2024, Auditor Sean Reyes visited the United States Post Office and Courthouse in Scranton, Pennsylvania to exercise his right to film. However, just seconds after arriving, he received a cold welcome.
Sure. 7 a.m. Who are you, sir? Who are you, sir?
I'm working.
And your name?
You're not allowed to videotape.
I'm not allowed to record?
No.
Isn't this a public area here?
You're not allowed to videotape in here.
Do you mind if I get your name, sir?
My name is Mark Lavelle. There's a sign out here that says videotape.
There's no signs here.
There's a sign out the name.
It really makes you wonder why these security officials have such a problem with the camera. Shortly after, they ganged up on the auditor to intimidate him to stop recording.
Usually it's posted. I don't see it posted here, but...
This ain't just postal.
Right. Well, I'm not in the courthouse. Is the courthouse over there, through those doors?
All over.
But there's no court here, right, where I'm standing?
What's your goal?
No, my goal is to just take some pictures and video in public spaces. That's it. I didn't come up to you. I didn't call you here. I didn't do any of that. So, do you mind if I get your name, sir? Yeah, no? Okay.
I don't know what your goal is.
That's very professional, sir. Well, no, I'm trying to tell you it's a federal law. It's normally posted, and it says photographs for news purposes may be taken entrances, lobbies, and foyers. This is a lobby, and it's a federal law. So you might be mistaken on the rules. Like I said, I wish we had it posted. I can bring it up on my phone, though, if you'd like.
These clueless security guards had no understanding of the law and had no idea they were up against someone who knew it far better than they did.
I know you said you didn't want to read it, sir, but just so we have them. Sir, do you mind if I get your name? Sir? Do you mind if I get your name?
Tony.
Tony? Nice to meet you, Tony. Thank you for being professional. Do you mind if I get your name, sir? Still no? Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Well, I mean, you're not giving me yours, or else I would give you mine.
Okay, what's your name, sir?
Well, when he gives me his name, I'll tell you. Yeah. So when you properly identify yourself, I'll tell you. Craig? My name is Sean, Craig. Nice to meet you.
No, what's your name?
Craig what? My name is Sean. Craig what? It's okay for you to know my last name, but I don't get to know your name. How does that work?
What's your goal here, buddy?
My goal is to take some. It's a beautiful building here. It's great architecture here. It's a very historical building.
Sean insisted on a supervisor or a law enforcement officer while trying to educate the security officials by showing them the statutes. However, they ignored the facts and refused to listen.
You have, a bunch of memorabilia everywhere, for people to see. Am I from the area? I'm in town on business. No, I'm not from the area. No, I'm just taking some pictures. It's a beautiful lobby here with different architecture and different models here.
Were you across the street taking pictures over there?
Where?
Across the street.
Oh, I don't know what's across the street.
That's a beautiful building.
Really? Yeah, I'll get to it. See, look, I know you didn't want to read it, but I'll just show it to you.
You don't have to show it to me. There's somebody coming down the top.
I know, but I'm just saying this is from the USPS website, the Federal Rules and Regulations Governing Conduct. I'm just trying to give clarification to the situation, sir. That's it. I mean, is there a reason why you're walking in front of me, sir? Are you supervisor, sir? No? Do you mind if I get your name? You don't mind?
You're asking everybody's name, but you're not giving us yours.
I did. I said my name is Sean.
What's your last name?
What's your last name, sir? My last name's Reyes, sir. Nice to meet
Reyes?
you. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
Finally, after some time, a deputy marshal and the head of security of the building appeared to talk to Sean. It was time for these clueless officials to get a much-needed lesson on the law.
I'm Gio.
Gio? Nice to meet you, Gio.
What brings you here? What's going on?
Oh, no, I just saw this beautiful building here. It's a great architecture, and I was trying to explain to these, the security...
Just so you know, he's walking around videotaping and talking.
Right, yeah, I'm documenting. Yeah. Exactly what I said I was doing. Who are you, sir?
I'm a deputy U.S. Marshal.
You're a deputy U.S. Marshal. Okay. Yeah. No. I saw this beautiful. I saw the memorabilia here. I was just walking around taking pictures of the.
This is down in this is a public space area.
Right.
Right. So, right here in this area, if you have your phone out and stuff like that, you're taking pictures here and there. That's fine.
Right. That's what I was trying to explain to them.
So where the buck stops is once you start getting towards your secure area over here.
So that's the federal courthouse, right?
Yes, this is part of the federal courthouse.
Right.
But this is a public space.
Right.
Once you get near the access
secure area,
that's where the buck stops.
Right.
It's good to see that at least someone knows the law. Slowly, we watch as the dumb officials start to get away from the scene, realizing that they've been proven wrong and held accountable for their actions.
Yeah, there's I don't agree that there should be transparency in the courthouses, but I'm not going against a federal judge because I lose every time.
Like that's across the country.
Right. No, I know it's a federal statute. Yeah. I know it's a federal statute.
Like I said, but when you're
I don't have to agree with it.
If you're in here and you're recording these areas, the only thing is obviously be respectful of everyone.
Right, yeah, no, you have a lot of memorabilia over here posted and stuff like that, so I was just looking at it.
But once we enter near the secure area there,
right,
where we have our magnetometers or security checkpoint, just like the airport.
Right.
When you're
you can record at the airport.
If you're standing in line and stuff like that, there are signs posted saying no video, no.
No. Listen, I don't want to get into the back and forth with you about it. I'm just saying, just from personal experience, there's a TSA memo too that says you can record the security checkpoint. But that's neither here nor there. We're not at the airport. I'm not trying to. They came up to me saying I couldn't record in this area, and I tried to tell them about the rules and regulations, where it specifically says for news purposes you're allowed to record.
We're not going to sit here and argue about it.
Right? No, I'm not arguing with you, Gio.
The deputy did stand with Sean on the law, but never tried to teach some lesson on the law to those idiot officials who still had no remorse for their actions.
Once we get to the secure checkpoint areas, that's where the buck stops.
Right, that's the federal. Yeah, because that's the federal courthouse, right?
I mean, this is all part of it.
Well, yeah.
This building, because there's an atrium that connects both buildings.
Right.
And it all falls under the federal courthouse. It's a federal building.
Right, it's a federal building, right. But depending on where I'm in the building, there's different guidelines and regulations that govern conduct, and that's what I was trying to tell them.
All business happens past that checkpoint.
Right.
So that's where the phones stop. Even
Right.
if you were to come in and say you had an appointment.
Right. Are they law enforcement, or
Yes.
they are law enforcement? Okay. So why would they call you down? Why couldn't they just deal with it themselves?
They work for us. They're
Oh, it's it's a private company,
they're
right?
court security officers. Yes.
Courts that you're contractors by the, and you work directly for the federal government. Okay, I just want to understand that logic. Thank you, I appreciate it. Well, I mean, if you could just let them know, because they,
But he said sometimes it's.
I just don't want, if somebody else came in here and taking pictures, they're going to tell them, hey, you can't take pictures in here, it's against federal law, when it's not. I think it's something that should be clarified. That's all.
Sean was definitely not happy with the treatment he received, and it's tough to see how you can't even exercise your constitutional rights due to individuals like these who have no sense of the law.
No, we're just just making sure everything's cool.
Right.
Sometimes,
Well, making sure something's cool and then being confident in something is different.
At the end of the day, the world's a weird place right now, so we're always having to stay on edge.
Right.
They probably came up to you, because we don't have a ton of people coming in recording.
This beautiful building?
It is, and I agree. But a lot of times we don't have people come, people don't come into federal courthouses to walk around and look around. Usually it's because you got business there.
Well, I've been in a lot of federal courthouses, and they're very beautiful buildings.
Yeah,
Marble walls, they are very beautiful. Great architecture.
Great architecture. Great
Yeah. And especially this one, it's post office center.
You're probably one of the few.
Right.
You're one of the few that have come in to really appreciate the artwork and everything like that.
I mean,
as opposed to, like I said, most people walking by to see federal courthouse and just keep walking right.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
So, take care of yourself.
Thank you, Gio.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. So this side over here is the federal courthouse, where they won't even allow you to have a phone. I've been to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals before in New York City, and they will take your phone, electronic devices, and it's a federal statute within the federal code that you cannot have possession of an electronic device in a courthouse. And I gotta tell you, if you ever wanted to go into a federal building, it's a shame that they won't allow pictures or videos inside of federal courthouses and the courthouse part of it, because it's actually very beautiful. That's where all our tax money goes. Marble walls, columns, it's very beautiful.
This next sheriff is such a tyrant, officers are leaving his PD just because of his attitude.
You get on my traffic stop again, I will arrest you. Yeah, I'll arrest you. Do it, buddy.
And we're gonna. You're going now.
Okay, well, what if I don't?
We gonna have a problem.
So you're driving a city vehicle without a duty weapon?
Yeah, is that something illegal?
Yeah, it's against policy.
What ain't against policy? Don't get too close. That's what I'm saying. Then back up on me. I'm just saying, I don't want this thing to escalate. How's it gonna escalate? You tell me.
Cop-on-cop confrontations are really rare, and the cases I picked for you today are unlike any other, starting with the first one where two cops have a complete meltdown over a traffic stop. Sergeant James of the Hiawassee PD conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle after observing it driving recklessly.
Good evening. How are you doing? Doing well, and yourself? I'm doing all right. What's your hurry? You're very recklessly from the city all the way here, man. In and out of traffic, not using turn signal. Man, I watched you. It took me this long to catch up to you.
I'm sorry.
You were 70 plus.
I didn't think I was that bad.
I checked you at 65.
I'm sorry.
What's your hurry?
I gotta get my medication.
You gonna try to kill people over medication?
No, well, it helps with my anxiety.
If that car in front of you would have slammed on brakes, you would have caused a wreck right here. What kind of medication is it?
It's for bipolar and anxiety.
Okay, I don't think that medicine would make you drive the way you were driving.
No, because it's starting to wear off. I was expecting to be home all night.
It's starting to wear off?
Yeah.
How many times a day you take it?
One when I first after I eat breakfast, I take one at 9 o'clock, one at 2 o'clock, and then one in the evening. And it's starting to wear, I can feel my head starting to.
Well, the way you were driving,
that's why I'm taking the medication.
Well, maybe you don't need to be driving at all.
No, as long as I'm on medication.
Well, why don't you take your medication with you?
Because I expected to be home.
Hang tight.
The man was going way over the speed limit, and the traffic stop was fully warranted, but soon enough, trouble would arrive.
All right. I didn't write wrote you for reckless driving or any of that. I wrote you for speed, just like I told you, 65 and a 45. I did put what you say and what I observed, okay? Your court date is August 8th, 2022 at the Hiawassee City Hall, okay? All right, watch coming through town like that, man.
Oh, yeah,
Traffic's heavy, okay? All right, be careful.
Sir, got a question. Yes, what come on inside the city or out here? Just right here. Okay.
Go pull the video at Valero. You get on my traffic stop again, I will arrest you.
Yeah, I'll arrest you right now.
Do it, buddy.
And we're going to
do it.
Charges against your ignorance.
Do it, Ode.
Go for it.
Do it. There's cameras at Valero and there's cameras at Napa that see you pulled out.
Shut your mouth.
You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your boy.
Talk to you, boy. You a boy.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Count 302, status check.
Info.
This madman was Sheriff Henderson, and he's had a long-standing grudge against the Hiawassee PD.
And you're going to hang out with him while you're in uniform working for me. I run this mother by myself before I'll be disrespected by people that work for me. And I'm sorry, I know I'm acting crazy. I've never been so damn mad. But let me ask you, are you going to hang out all the time with my enemies?
People have left the sheriff's office because of his behavior. Who would even want to work for a boss like that? And what's surprising is that he still holds office. He can only be replaced by the voters, so if the people of Hiawassee really want to change, they should vote this man out. This next deputy was a diva. He was pulled over for driving under the influence and then started taunting his superiors. On January 13, 2021, a woman dialed 911 to report saying that a Bossier City police unit was driving erratically and hit a mailbox. The driver was identified as off-duty Officer Travis Coker. 3 supervisors immediately pulled him over to confront him.
How was your driving? Driving fine. It pulls a little bit to the right. Other than that, unless I drop something or whatever, hit the curb or whatever, or in the middle of the line, but you can all around the car if you like. Did you drop something? The only thing I know of is I saw the phone down on the seat and was reaching for it to get it. I have to check to see what they were. Wait. You know, right there in the middle of the back seat. So you got off. You got off at 6 o'clock today? I did. I got 2 kids now. Did you go straight to bed or what was the deal? No, I did. So you've been up since last night? I have. The Adderall?
What is it? The extra tram or what?
Lorazepam?
Yeah. They cause business. Have you taken a couple of these?
No, not today. No. Not a one.
The supervisor checked Coker's car and found sleeping pills on the front seat, but Coker downright denied that he took them, and the supervisors weren't about to let this slide.
So you think you good to go for driving?
100%.
And look, you know I'm trying to get a hard time.
No, I know. And that's why I had been asleep. I'm just trying to get everything arranged. Got home, got the kids on the school bus, met Daddy, got all that situated, just trying to pick the house up. He didn't need his prescription. He can't walk. So I'm sitting there waiting for him.
I mean, it's nothing personal. I know it seems that way. But
no, I get
they got an
that.
obligation to just check things out whenever you got a complaint like that, you know?
Well, I told him that when I went tonight, man. I can't. I'm just trying to juggle it all. It's not like I go home and just get great sleep. I just don't.
Right.
You know, I've got full custody of 2 kids, and I got to get them.
Right.
My mom just died. I'm trying to help my dad with all the bills and all that shit.
Right.
Come up here and get his prescription. He can't walk. So.
Right. I get it.
Can't even walk. I'll be glad to come up here just a little bit.
But I don't feel safe with you driving right now until you know that you're okay.
But can I get somebody to come get me? I promise you, Lieutenant Captain, I am fine. If I hit something, it was dropping my phone. It ain't the sleep.
Well, listen to me. We're going to have to go this route, what I just told you.
Okay, I'm telling you, I can't do that right now.
You don't have no other choice. I'm telling you that right now.
Captain, with all due respect, when I get off, I have obligations to things. That's why I couldn't go tonight to begin with. But I'm making it work.
Coker was playing the pity card and being all nice right now, but this won't last for long, as eventually he was going to lash out at his supervisors.
Captain, I can't go right this
You're
second.
going now.
Okay, well, what if I don't?
We gonna have a problem.
What's the problem?
You probably administrative leave.
For what? Because I can't go right this second because I'm on my off time?
Listen to me. You're operating.
I wasn't even driving.
Coker.
Captain, I love you to death. I mean,
but you put me in a bad spot.
Captain, I'm in the only spot I can be in, man. I'm trying to take care of my family.
You're gonna have to go with him, okay?
I can't go there right now, Captain.
So here's the deal.
I'm not trying to be, Captain, I ain't trying to be ugly at all. I can get somebody to come get me. I'll come back and get it later, whatever you want me to do. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to refuse anything. Listen to me. I'm not.
If you was in your POV, listen to me.
I would be.
Listen
it's
to
in
me.
the shop.
If you was in your POV, we wouldn't be out here right now.
I know that.
But you in the city vehicle.
Right. And it's her word against. She got some videotape?
Listen to me, man.
This is not court. This is an administrative deal.
I know that, but I'm just saying, anybody's out there, the police, like I said, if I drop my phone and run over the line, I'm not doubting that.
Yes, sir.
But I have to get to, give me 35 minutes. I'll come back and whatever you want me to do.
Can't do that.
Okay, well, can I get somebody to come get me?
No, you gotta
come with us.
If I cannot come with you.
If you refuse, we're not gonna have no choice but to put you on administrative.
Hey, what does that mean?
That means that we have to take your gun, take your badge, and then we gotta go to the chief's office. And then the chief administration will take care of that. That's what we have to do. We're obligated to do what we're doing right now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So if we refuse, we ain't gonna handcuff you and take you with us, but we're not gonna give you the keys to the city park. We're not gonna do that.
Can I get my stuff out of it?
Slow down. Are you gonna take the test, or you're not gonna take the test?
I will take the test today. I just can't take it right this second.
Why? Because it might incriminate him? If he's so innocent, why doesn't he just take it and be done with it? He knew he was driving under the influence, and the supervisors weren't going to let him off the hook.
What he's explaining to you
Yes, sir. And
is that he and the captain are giving you an order, being in patrol administration, okay? You're under their command that you have to submit to reasonable suspicion testing for the department.
What is the reasonable suspicion?
This is not for debate. Listen to me.
I'm just saying, explain to me the
Coker,
reasonable suspicion.
you're arguing. Look.
I'm asking.
Okay.
Sergeant, don't worry about it. He's been policing long enough. Just got detectives. If you don't understand what we're saying right now, you're not gonna never understand what we're saying. Okay, so we just leave it right there. I'm not worried.
I'm just asking, so that's all I'm doing. I'm on y'all's team.
You understand by not taking the test now, you're subject
There's nothing I wouldn't
to
pass.
administrative issues or administrative procedures?
Listen, I'm on the phone with one of the deputy chiefs. He said you got to go for reasonable suspicion that something. You got to go.
I can't go right this second. Can you give me 30 minutes?
And we're gonna make sure whatever your family needs are, we will make sure those family needs are taken care of.
I have to take care of it. I go to work every night. I'm there at 10 o'clock.
Are you gonna submit to the testing or not?
I will go to any test y'all want me to go to. Just give me just a little bit of time.
Can't do that.
And I will drive a POV back there.
We're not gonna let you drive. That's the purpose of the test, to make sure that you're
Let
okay.
me get somebody come get me, and then I will get my stuff in order at the house, and I will come right back.
The supervisors offered Coker that they'll go take care of the family stuff he wants to do, and he was not allowed to drive his car right now. Coker was then told that he can't touch anything in the car, since this was now an active investigation. This didn't sit right with him.
You owe you day shift? No, you don't owe me anything. But you know what you owe me? Not to lie to me.
Nobody lying to you like that.
Y'all didn't.
I'm not lying to you.
You didn't, but I got lied to by multiple people. Not you, Captain.
Listen to me. Can I explain to that?
Yeah, you can.
They didn't lie to you either. It was miscommunication. They were supposed to get with me, and I had put out the letter before they. Yes, nobody lied to you.
Well, they didn't get with you. Like they said they would. I'm not trying to make nobody's job hard. Work with all y'all. Fine, I'm gonna get my stuff out of it.
When?
Right now. It's my stuff. I can believe I can get it. It's my personal stuff.
Okay. You'll be able to get it, but you're not getting it right now.
Well, I got to get my personal stuff, or that's a theft.
No, it's not.
What's going to end up happening? You taking a chance of being terminated. I'm not saying that's going to happen.
But over what, Captain?
Because right now, the way you're acting, we're trying to do our job. We're trying to do something. You are being respectful.
I'm being as respectful as I can be.
Are you going, yes or no?
Captain, I have an obligation at home. I'm off. I'm not going right now. It's a yes or no answer. I'm not going right now. Okay. Can I get my personal stuff out of my car?
Do you have any weapons inside that car?
No, sir.
Okay, where's your weapons?
It is at home.
So you're driving a city vehicle without a duty weapon?
Yeah, is that something illegal?
Yeah, it's against policy.
What ain't against policy?
Well, maybe you should brush up on it just a little bit.
Okay, I guarantee you we can look around and everybody's broke policy.
Okay.
Coker was so stubborn he wasn't letting the supervisors do their job. What's worse is that Coker was about to snap on the officers since his pity act didn't work.
It's not open. Like, you ain't doing no digging, man. Like, y'all can look. Man, it ain't nothing. What is it that you need out of your I got $600 in the console. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get it. No. You're not going in the vehicle. Listen, you don't understand, Coker. I got the keys to the car. I need that money. Yeah, you get. Yeah, we're gonna get my money. We're gonna get you the money. Nobody trying to keep your money from you. Nobody gonna keep your money. Well, why can't I get it now?
Step to the front of the car, man.
You can get it from me. Stand in front of us.
Good, how are you?
Oh, now I'm in trouble now. Stand back in front of the vehicle. I need my cigarette. Stand in front of the vehicle. Come on, under arrest.
No.
What I need to stand in front of the damn vehicle? Because I said so, that's why. Well, who you to say so? You ain't no rank to me today. At this point, I don't trust you, man. I don't care if you trust me or not. I don't want you near me. That's fine. I don't want you near me. How about that? Well, I'm not under arrest. Put that in the pocket. Can you grab my bucket of dip sitting out there under the seat? And my wallet, Captain, is... Where's the wallet? Hey. I'm just trying to look and see where it's at. Hey. It's probably right on the...
Just come back over here, man.
Jesus Christ, man. I'm under arrest, Sarge.
You're not under arrest.
What in the fuck is going on?
You're not under arrest. You're frustrated.
I am, badly.
And I get that.
This it?
Yes, sir. And my black wallet.
Where's the wallet at?
Well, I'm trying to think. It should be right around there somewhere.
Even though the supervisors weren't supposed to hand him over his belongings, they still did it out of the spirit of being on the same force. But Coker was extremely ungrateful and even challenged his supervisor's authority.
You can't deprive somebody of their stuff.
They're not depriving your stuff.
Well, how long does... Well, let's define deprive.
I mean, we can sit here and play Webster all you want.
I know, but let's define deprive.
Okay.
Because
to permanently keep you from it, they're not. You're going to get it back. However,
at what point in time?
Whenever you make arrangements to get the stuff out of your vehicle.
Breaks in the car and says, "I'm gonna give it back." Not today.
Okay. I'm not going to have this debate with you.
It's
not a theft.
It is a theft.
It's not a theft, Coker. It's not a theft.
It's a theft.
Well, after we get done, then you contact the sheriff's office, and then you can make a report for theft.
Sarge, I wouldn't do that, man.
Okay, I'm just telling you. You got to. I understand you're frustrated, but you're going about things the wrong way.
I can't do it right now, or otherwise I would,
I understand, but you have to do it now. That's what they're telling you, is you have to. That's an order.
I don't have to.
You're right. There are consequences if you don't, though.
Right.
Okay.
You have no proof of I've done anything.
Okay, Coker.
Sarge, this is the last
do you understand? Do you understand that we're not talking about guilt beyond a reasonable doubt? For an administrative purposes, all they got to have is a preponderance of evidence.
Okay.
You understand?
What is the preponderance of evidence?
It's the lowest.
Where's the evidence?
Listen to me. This is an administrative matter. It's not a criminal matter.
What are we doing?
Giving you a ride home.
Man, y'all call somebody. Y'all ain't got to do that. I ain't mad at none of y'all. Y'all treat me like shit. I ain't mad at none of y'all.
Nobody treat you like anything, Cole. We had a complaint. We got to see through it. But you're hindering us from doing what we got to do.
No, I'm not. Man, my family comes first, man. Okay. And I told you that.
We sit here probably on scene right here, probably at least about 20 or 30 minutes.
That I could have been done.
And don't smoke right now, because you're finna get in his unit.
I gotta go in there and get my prescription, Captain. I mean, I ain't got no choice why I'm here. You think I want to be here and not asleep? That's where you're missing it, man. I'm missing it. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. You in the city car. Oh, I might be, but you have no jurisdiction right here. Take me nowhere.
It's not a criminal matter, dude. It's an administrative matter.
It's not. It is an administrative matter, but I've done nothing wrong. Where's the complainant?
You don't. These are the complainants.
Y'all. So, who's complaining?
Yes, sir.
Who's complaining?
Dude, you have a bad understanding.
No, what I do is I understand the law. So
we're not dealing with law. That's what you don't understand.
Well, we're dealing with a complaint.
We're dealing with administrative issues right now. They've given
What
you.
Are they?
They've given you.
What are they?
I'm not going to argue. You can take it up with Captain Aguirre.
What are they?
You can take it up with Sergeant Matt.
What are the issues?
I've told you. They've given you a direct order.
Yeah, a direct
you
order
have to go submit to chemical testing.
Why? Under what grounds?
They don't have to have grounds.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Did I get pulled for a random?
It doesn't matter. Then take it up with your attorney and civil service. I suggest you do.
What it said. I've already read it. I know what it said.
The department's own policy clearly stated that they adhere to a drug alcohol-free workplace. Any supervisor can ask their deputy to submit to a breath test, and if any deputy is taking medication that might impair their ability to work, they should declare it. Coker violated both of these policies.
I'm good right here.
Listen, man.
I'm good.
Let's not get to the point where
let's not get to
gets escalated.
It don't have to get escalated because the thing is, you're OJ here. Okay. And you might have the car, but you don't have me.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, and I'm just gonna cut and drive on that.
That's
okay. I'm staying where I want to.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
Let me tell you something.
Okay, go ahead and tell me.
Don't get too close. That's what I'm
saying. Then back up on me.
I'm right here.
Okay.
I'm asking you to stand right there.
Okay.
Don't stand right there. I'm just saying, I don't want this thing to escalate.
Well, how's it going to escalate? You tell me.
Well, I'm telling you, I don't want you to get too close over here. Let my captain do what he got to do.
Okay.
That's what I'm
asking. You tell me how it's going to escalate.
I'm hoping it don't escalate.
Well, what would it escalate into?
I don't know. I'm just telling you.
I'll let them know that it's going to escalate because I'll stand on the curb.
I don't want it to escalate.
Yeah, me. Okay. I know you don't.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I know
you just stand right there. Don't get closer to me.
Then you don't get close to me.
I'm right here. I'm good.
I'm good too.
Cool.
I just want my fucking shit out of my car.
We're on the same page.
Yeah. No, I don't think we are.
Yeah, we are.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Because you have a step closer. And I'm glad you're right where you at.
Yeah, I'm right where I'm at. You ain't a step closer than me.
Yeah, I know. But I'm good. Because I don't want it to escalate.
Me neither.
Cool. That's what I'm saying. We're on the same page.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You see all this out here? This is Bossier Parish, not Bossier City.
Sure?
Very sure. All right. Lived here 35 years.
I agree with you.
No,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
His supervisor was being humble. You can see how he's trained not to escalate the situation. If it was any other officer, they would have had him in cuffs just for raising his voice. All the while, Coker continued to behave like a spoiled brat.
Still, I hope you won't hate me.
I don't hate you now.
Well, hopefully we'll forget about this little incident. Probably not.
What are the deputies to blame for when the chiefs are corrupt? This chief stole from his department and finally got caught.
I didn't fight the system because I honestly believed they were my checks.
It's scary when you start seeing police chiefs being interrogated for corruption. How can you trust any cop if their chief gets caught for his crimes? This interrogation will show you exactly how this chief manipulated the system and cashed in on it. On March 10, 2018, Buckeye Lake Police Chief James Hansey went over to a residence for a police call and accidentally fired his weapon. This led to an investigation into the chief's conduct, where the police found out that there was a lot of shady stuff he had been doing this whole time, and nobody knew.
I wasn't even thinking of being on technically light duty.
Right.
I had no gun with me. And, you know, with there someone possibly being in that house dying, you guys have done the same thing. You'd have went in. We had 3 people here, and we've been trained. I told Ritter, give me your handgun. Vermaiden went around the side of the trailer to see if there was a door on the back. And we went in, cover 3. Vermaiden was the first one in the door, went to the right. Because it's a a single wide. Went in and I went to the left and I held the whole back of the trailer. And the trailer is really dark. And the only lights that's on is their flashlights and a TV in the very back room. I'm standing here, low ready, left hand, and all of a sudden something flashed. I thought someone was coming up at me. When I came up, I hit a corner and put went in the round, went in the floor.
Okay. Did you have your finger on the trigger or something when you went up?
I had, yeah.
Hansey had a finger amputation just a day before the incident and was advised to stick to desk duty. But the policy didn't get through the thick skull of his, and he ended up endangering lives.
Listen, we had an accidental discharge. Sorry about that. everything in the house is fine. And his exact words to me is, I don't give a shit, as long as my mom's okay.
The point still stands. He wasn't allowed to be there. Would he say sorry about that if the shot actually injured someone?
Just come right to the scene with you guys and help clear the trailer.
You know, I don't know if he also notified dispatch because we didn't have a walkie on him. I didn't have a walkie, neither did Jeff. I do know when I was standing there and she said 99 traffic, he got on the radio and asked for it and said, but 458 99 traffic.
Okay. All right. So we pull a tape from there. It's going to have you call on dispatch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Because Ritter marked dispatch too and said, hey, this is going on over here at the trailer park and everything else. So he actually marked it. So you guys get over there, you have your external discharge, talk to the people, everything's fine with them. Now, at some point, Hebron came over, right?
Yes.
Okay. Were they called to come over?
I don't know.
Yes, obviously it's the mayor's fault. Dodging accountability is going to be difficult for a guy his size.
I did exactly what I was supposed to do. I called the mayor. I called the mayor 6 times and she never called me back. She called Ritter instead of calling my phone. She does that a lot. Because she had the other day, she was standing there, Ritter's phone goes off. Call from Peggy Wells. He's talking to her. I'm like, I walk up and say, why aren't you calling me? I'm the chief.
Right.
From years, she's been on council for years, and yeah, she never liked the police department. She's actually picketed against the fire department. She don't like them. She had a big meeting with Randy Thorpe, and Billy was still there, and wanted to see about bringing them in and get rid of us. And Billy and them guys told him, you can't afford us.
Right.
But when she took over mayor, and she took me in on January 19th, I told her, I said, all I want to do is my job.
Yeah.
I want to work with you. I have no hard feelings about nothing.
I didn't know cops were allowed to work from home. Do they handcuff using emails? Who allowed him to be paid while he worked from home?
I guess a couple of them mentioned a computer that you had at home, that your excuse was that you had to go home because you had some information on the computer at home that you didn't at work.
My computer at home is set up the same way the computer at the house. At the office.
Okay.
And if I was at my house doing stuff and writing, you can go to my house right now and I can show you the stuff that I've done, changing policies and changing things. I've had permission from our mayor, Carol, to go there.
Okay. Have you had permission from this mayor to go there?
No, and I haven't.
Okay. All right.
I wish I would have brought my phone in. The times that they're probably talking about is I burnt my foot, right heel, really bad, clear to the bone. And I had to have a special boot. And it hurt to walk in it.
The police chiefs should report weekly to some higher authority, and investigators should go through the police station at least once a month.
And I would come in the mornings, I would get the mail like I was supposed to, I would check the phone recorders and do everything else, and then I would go to the house and do what I had to do. But I always had my walkie right there, and they knew this.
Well, I think part of it too was they said they came over, a couple of times, and you were just wearing shorts and a t-shirt watching cops while you were on duty.
No.
And that was and then when I checked the records, you had him logged down his hours for that day. But my concern is if you're at home that day, and that's true. Let's say that's true what he's saying. If you're just sitting around watching cops when you're supposed to be at work, that could be an issue.
Right.
Obviously, you're the chief of police. You wouldn't want one of your guys doing that.
I would go home a lot, but I would not. I would be in blue jeans or my BDU pants and a shirt that always said police, and I would be doing the stuff that I was allowed to do on the computer per the mayor.
He was treating the police station like a restaurant he owned. What a waste of tax dollars.
What are your procedures for junking cars?
Junking cars?
Yeah, let's say you get a car in an impound, nobody comes and gets it. What is your procedures to get rid of that vehicle?
Run the thing through the state of Ohio. They come back and tell us if there's a lien on it. And then you send that person, or if there's a lien on it, you send that person 10-day notice. Or if there's no lien on it, you send that person, the owner, 10-day notice. And then if they don't collect it, or we get it back, they've got 10 days to pay the towing or anything like that. If not, then I go get a title from the BMV, and then we gather how many of our cars we got up, get 3 bids, and then people come out and look at the, you know, like junkyards or private people or whatever. They look at all the cars all at once and give you 3 bids, and the highest bidder gets them.
Okay.
As if the situation couldn't get worse, Chief Hansey was also accused of removing batteries from junk cars and selling them for personal profit.
You ever taken any batteries out and sold the batteries?
No.
No? And the reason I'm asking in this setting, Jimmy, is this is a setting where under Gary, you can't be charged with what we're talking about. We can't talk about this criminally.
Right.
Okay, but if that comes out criminally, you know, there's going to be some issues probably with stealing, okay? So there's been those allegations, and a little more than just allegations, very, very specific things that I've checked out that are not making a lot of sense, okay? One of them especially being a water pump that was taken off of a truck for Randy.
If anything was taken off them cars, the village already owned them, and they had permission from the mayor to take anything. I personally have never taken anything off the cars, out of the cars, anything. Now Randy and Mark Dimick has, yes, but they've always had permission, and they've never done anything until the vehicles were owned by the village.
Sure.
This police department was a joke. Petty crime right under the roof of a police station?
Did you take any batteries then after they owned it? Did the mayor say, hey, you can take these? I'm trying to, you know, explain it for myself in my head why I've had 2 people tell me the same thing now. 2 different people. One, you know, that I would say is completely on your side. One that says maybe not completely on your side, and they're both telling me the same thing. So I'm trying to figure that out why in my head that would be the case. So is there a circumstance or an instance where you did take a battery or 2 after the mayor cleared it?
I've never taken a battery.
Never.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
All right. Well, I needed to ask you about that because, like I said, I've had a couple of them here. All right.
The detectives wanted more out of the chief, so they shifted the point and attacked him for the same discharge situation.
In the village, they took a call, even though they're not cleared to come back for 2 more days. Would you per se, do you have a problem with that?
If it was the same situation that I was put in,
sure, call exactly the same.
No, I would not.
Okay. And why is that?
Because there was imminent risk of death. He was there. He had plenty enough people to take care of what the situation was. And I believe he has what word do I want to use?
You want to use probably duty to do something, right?
Yeah. And
I assume that's where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I would not have a problem with that at all. I mean, the accidental discharge was very unfortunate and a bad timing, but, you know, no, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all because of the imminent danger.
Once again, the accidental discharge seemed to only be a stepping stone for the detectives as they pursued another key issue in the department.
You've got all the hours listed for everybody that worked, all the calls were taken, all that stuff.
Yeah, we get the calls and everything out of the computer system.
Okay.
And Jeff would estimate the hours.
How's he estimating the hours? I'm confused on that part.
I worked 80 hours a week. I mean 80 hours a week.
Every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks. That's 160 a month, so he'd put 160. He would take what he was supposed to work, divide that by 2. That's what he would get, just down the line like that.
Okay. Ultimately responsible for that, to make sure those numbers are correct.
Those numbers were estimations. They were never correct, not meant to be correct.
You guys are paid by the hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get paid by the hour, an estimate by the hour? How does that work? Because we have a time clock. We got to turn stuff. I mean, we literally have a time clock.
How do you pay officers by the hour? There were so many holes in the PD, it was difficult to comprehend.
Then you're ultimately responsible for making sure the numbers are accurate when they go to Mary, who I assume Mary does some other report as well, or did at the time.
I have no clue. We just turn in our timesheets to her.
But you make a report for city council, or for village council. I'm sorry, if I keep calling city council, I'm just used to this. You make a report for village council, right?
The end of the month, they would get a report, along with the fire department and every street department and everything else.
Right, and that report is done by who?
Vermaten.
Okay, so Vermaten does the report. He does the report up, and I would assume, since you're the guy in charge ultimately, and you're the one responsible for numbers ultimately, you look at that report,
No.
You don't look at the report that Vermaine's doing?
No, he would come in or on a Friday when I'm off on Fridays, and he knows Monday is the council meeting. He would do it up, and then he would take it over and give it to Valerie. I have no clue.
But you know who comes. But you know who's coming and going, Jimmy. That's the whole thing I want to get at. You know who's coming and going in the department, and there are people like Schilling. Is it Schilling? Schiller? I know
Jason Schilling.
Jason Schilling.
Yeah.
I talked to lots of people, and they said he only comes during taser training. That's it. And he's listed for 16 hours a month.
Correct.
Every single month.
Correct. Because Frank Foster, our mayor, said he did our radar, he did our taser, and he did something. What else did he do? Radar, taser.
The department's officers were all overpaid for the work they performed. One officer in particular was paid full-time despite only attending taser training. Here's the chief's explanation.
I believe it is accurate because the mayor, Frank Foster, said, we will trade him this 16 hours a month if he continues to train us like that. And that's the way we did it.
I understand what you're saying. I do. I get it. But, a guy like that's invaluable. But you want that guy to actually work. And when you're presenting those numbers to the village council, the numbers don't match what is actually going on. So if you're putting 16 hours down, it looks like that guy's been there for 16 hours that month. He put in at least 16 hours of time, right?
If you wanted to look at it that way, yes.
I don't know. I really don't know how else to look at it, Jimmy, when it comes to that, because, again, yeah, valuable guy. You want to keep him around. You want to keep him happy, but he's not putting the numbers in that you are saying he's putting in. Does that make sense?
The chief once again deflected blame, pointing fingers at other officers and even the mayor, insisting he was simply going along with their decisions. He seemed unable to comprehend the seriousness of the situation and his own accountability.
But it's on there for 16 hours a month. Every month that she's been there, she's got 16 hours a month. I call her, she says, no, that's not accurate. I call the guy she rides with, Haas.
Jeff Haas.
Jeff says, no, she does not work 16 hours a month. Yeah, you guys put 16 hours a month on that sheet.
Again,
you understand that's a criminal charge. That could be a criminal charge to do all that stuff.
There's no monetary value.
There's no monetary value. You're making it public. You're making it public record. You're falsifying a public document because it's going over to village council. You see what I'm saying? So you're falsifying a document that goes over there, and I don't know why. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. But. This is the place to explain it, Jimmy, if you're going to. This is where it gets explained.
Well, sure, I know this is where it gets explained.
The chief was shown his crimes, and that immediately made him start gaslighting the detectives.
Let's go to these checks that were cashed for the insurance company. Now, I talked to the insurance company about those checks, and they had some pretty big issues with them. Mm-hmm. All right? That may be something that I'm going to have to turn over to somebody else to investigate criminally. If it gets to that point, I may have to do that. I don't know what's there. The insurance checks that when you were transported to the hospital and you were supposed to pay, you were supposed to cash them, and you cashed 4 of them.
Oh Lord, you got to be kidding me.
See, Jimmy, the problem with an internal investigation is once it starts rolling, it starts opening the door to all kinds of other stuff that comes in. Mm-hmm. And I have a duty now to at least address it and try to figure out what's going on. In this setting, again, you're under Gary, okay? I can't use anything you say criminally, period. Okay?
Oh, I understand.
So, all right, I want you to understand that, before you.
This is funny. These checks, I honestly, wholeheartedly, with my life, believe they were my Aflac checks. Because I talked to John Curtis, you can call him and ask him, I got him in my phone. He says, you've got a check coming, and you're going to have checks coming for your follow-up visits. I just got a check, and you can run out to my truck or give me the keys. I got $3,100 out there. I just got an Aflac check for this.
Okay.
I honestly, wholeheartedly, 1,000,000% believe them checks were mine. This started to piss me off. When I found out they weren't, I made arrangements and they were taking money out of my payroll every month. I didn't fight the system because I honestly believed they were my checks.
So did you get any Aflac checks during that time that you were getting those checks?
Yes.
Okay, so did you wonder, like, hey, wait a minute, why is Aflac sending me another check?
No, because he told me that I'd have money coming from follow-ups.
Gotcha.
Just like a few minutes ago, I go to the hospital. I've been to the hospital since February 4th every day for 3 hours.
The entire police department was a mess, and the detectives were just dropping bombs at the chief, who should have been aware of this prior to this investigation. As the investigation neared its end, Hansie's desperation became clear, and he even admitted to some of the alleged misconduct. In the end, he once again tried to become the victim in this situation.
Right before Mary left in December, I asked if we could get a window tint meter for $48. No, you don't have the money. Seriously?
Wow, $48?
$48. So that's the way we've always been in that village from day one I started. They don't give us nothing. We buy our own paper. We buy our own uniform. They give us a uniform allowance. But we buy our own boots and we buy our own guns and our belts and stuff that whatever the uniform allowance won't cover.
You know, that reminds me of something though, Jimmy, I gotta ask you before you take off here. You threw away a bunch of property the other day. Yeah.
No, it was boxes and stuff like that.
Okay. And one of them was one of our uniform shirts.
Yes,
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Why'd you throw away our shirt?
It had been in the back of the property room forever.
So some of the stuff you threw away, was that property or just boxes? Because we found some dried up weed and all that stuff too out there. You understand, you gotta get court orders to throw that stuff out, right?
Right, that was just dirt.
Shortly after the interrogation ended, and after the investigation was concluded, Chief Hansie was charged with 22 administrative counts. Chief Hansie was immediately dismissed from his position and placed on diversion. Fortunately, he was removed from his position and held responsible for his negligence and misconduct. If you like crime content like this, subscribe to stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
You weren't even here. I wait for the supervisor.
5-4, speeding.